Hi guys, before we get started, let me give you a quick background as to what we're about to do. We're going to go into a very old historic church that was built 1760s. Now the deal with this church is they open it to the public only during the month of April, and this month has already gone by so quickly. I keep forgetting to come up here. It's not that I forget, you just get busy and you don't have time for the things that you really want to do. So I'm going to take the opportunity today and go in and explore and get the history behind it. There's a lot of deep-seated history within this church and in the cemetery. So I'm very excited to go in and look around and get a tour. And there's also a couple of ghost stories behind this church as well. Now I've searched YouTube for other videos at this location, and I only found one, believe it or not. And it was so cool to find it because I told her, I was like, look, this church is like maybe not even a mile from me. I'm just gonna go because I've been meaning to go, and it'll be up soon. So without further ado, let's get out at the car and go in and explore. And as you can see, there's some people here who had the same idea that I have, because it's open to the public. Now this church usually does not open to the public, but they open it up during just this month only for historians and genealogists and the people who just really want to get the feel of the history behind this county. And this is the first church established in this county. Like I said, it's really old. So let's get in there and see some awesome stuff. Okay, going up to the balcony. Stairs are really old. Have to be careful not to fall on my face. Oh, look at these. Wow. These are beautiful, guys. Check that out. See if I can't get up to the windows. There's got to be some way around. Look at that view. Now supposedly over here was the slave pews. The families would sit at the pews, the first floor, and the slaves would have to sit up top pews. One side, what's very interesting is about one side the men would sit on, and then one side the women would sit on, and then the children also had their very own section as well. But now, the ghost story behind this church is that an escaped slave ran through this church on this balcony, and the slave master, Colonel Hildebrand, I believe, traced the slave to this church and in this balcony and shot him, completely murdered his slave. And somewhere, the supposedly blood stains that won't go away. I have to find it. I have to look for it. But if I find that, I will definitely let you know. I'm trying to get a wide angle of this church. It is so beautiful. I have to climb. You see that step? That's a huge step. I have to be very careful when climbing these pews because they're really gapped. See how gapped they are? I can't get over that view. That is gorgeous. Let's get to the window here. You can see the road and some of the cemetery on this side. No ghost yet. Look at that view. That is freaking gorgeous, guys. Some other patrons. Oh, one more thing. The organ, supposedly. Yeah, thank you. One more thing. The organ supposedly plays by itself at night. I have had friends who have driven past this church at night and have seen lights and apparitions and who have heard the organ playing. Again, it's just hearsay, but that's what, you know, the locals around here say. But this is, I mean, it's like whether you believe in ghosts or spirits or not, this place is absolutely beautiful. We're making our other way around the balcony here, trying to get up to this other window. The balcony is not that very big. It's kind of like in a square. So you can like walk around the different pews and jump the pews and stuff, but they're gapped. That must be really cool. And so I'm like 5'1", so I can't jump with a darn. But it's beautiful back here. And there's another view of the cemetery. We're gonna go out there in just a little bit. Just wanted to get the church first. Now this right here, that's the original hole from where the slave was shot. They didn't repair it. For historical reasons, they wanted to keep it, you know, the same, but that's supposedly a musket ball hole. I can't see any of the stains they were talking about, so it might be folklore, it might be just, you know, a local tale. But I can't find any of the handprints they were talking about. But the people that were involved did exist. I mean, there's documents proving that Colonel Hildebrand did shoot a slave. Whether the slave haunts this church, I don't know. But those people did exist, and that probably just, you know, some sort of tale that just spiraled out of control. Whether the organ plays at night by itself, I don't know. I still think it's a pretty interesting story. There's an old closet here. Hang on a second. Let me show you guys this. Oh, this is just coming up the stairs. If you open this up, under the pews, see there's the pews, and then under here is the little closet. It goes all the way under those pews. You can see the door on that side. And we're gonna go back downstairs because I want to get to the graveyard really soon. See those stairs? I was trying to come up those earlier and very crickety, very steep. And there's the organ. Okay, here we go down the stairs. Hopefully I don't fall and break my neck. Oh gosh, it's easy to misstep here. There we go. See if we can't make it to the organ. It's gorgeous. It's really beautiful. I don't want to, whoops. Now this guy, Henry Klein, is the one who actually built this church. This plaque was donated by his great-great-granddaughter, Elma Godson. So that's actually pretty cool. I mean, if you know anything about me at all, you know I love old photographs. I'm sorry the light, there you go. Now you can see it better. And we're getting ready to go out into the cemetery. Yeah, it's very beautiful. Here's the view from the outside. It is absolutely amazing. It still has the old smell, and oh my god, it's amazing. Here's some of the older grave. Now this graveyard is probably one of our oldest graveyards here. I've been to the graveyard itself a few times. I've never actually been inside the church before, so that was a first for me. Some of these stones have been here since the late 1700s. So we're gonna go explore. I'm really glad I got the opportunity to go inside. It's beautiful. I cannot say that enough. It's absolutely beautiful inside. Let's see. Actually, let's start at the farther right side and work our way down and see what we can find. I mean, some of these inscriptions are so old you can't even read them. They're just stones and that's it. And I imagine some of these aren't even marked. This is beautiful. Here we go. This is what the history behind the church. This tablet is dedicated to the glory of God and to commemorate the unbroken record of the preaching of the gospel of our Lord Jesus Christ on or near this site since 1975 AD. This church, known as Old St. Paul's Church, first known as the Dutch Meeting House, is the mother church of most of the Reformed and Lutheran churches of the Western North Carolina. The present brick building is the third effigy of the congregation. Now the brick building they're talking about is actually across the street. Probably can't see it from here, but there's a brick church, and that was the rebuild or the reformed version of this church. So now that we've got a little bit of history out of the way, let's go graveyard and cemetery exploring. Now, do you remember when I said my husband has Pennsylvanian roots in this state? Here's one of them actually. William, son of Johannes, Ask, confirmed 18 October 1753, Old Williams Township, Congregation, Bucks County, Pennsylvania. Migrated 1754 with family to Mecklenburg, now Cabarrus County, North Carolina. Settled on Clark's Creek, which is actually not too far away from here, near this church, land grant of 28 August 1765. German, such Lutheran, County Constable, Revolutionary War Patriot. So, yeah, that's part of my husband's history and my children's history too, as a matter of fact. Just to give you guys an idea, I'm starting from the very back to the tree line, and I'm going to work my way around. If you look back into the wooded area, you can clearly see some stones that have just overturned and overgrown, and just there's just stones everywhere back here, so you have to be really careful about where you step. This section is really old and historic, as if you couldn't tell from the size and shape and the inscriptions on some of the stones. Trying to make our way back up to the front. There's a lot of stuff I want to show you, but because my memory isn't as good on my phone as it was on my camera, I'm not going to be able to show you everything, so I'm trying to pick and choose what I want to show. And as you can see, it extends all this area through here and all the way down there. So we're going to find maybe the most interesting ones. Not that saying that they're not all important, but they are. They're all important, at least in my book anyway. But because of my memory issues, I can't show you everything that I want to show you. So let me find an interesting spot and I'll stop and show you guys. This one is marked 1702, and I cannot remember the name of the person because it's a German inscription. However, it is the oldest marker out here. Well, that they have marked. There's several that are unmarked and that are undatable, but this is the oldest known marker out here. From 1702. If anybody can make that out, please let me know. Or I can just probably go home and look it up to see what it says. I imagine they have it listed somewhere, but that's pretty freaking cool in my opinion. Not only is this place absolutely amazing, but there's just so many untold stories right here, you know, and with almost any cemetery you go to, there's gonna be just thousands and thousands of stories and all this information you can just piece together, kind of like a puzzle, and that's why it's so fun. It's so fun to piece everything together and match up with who matches what and where they're from and who they belong to, and that's what I get a big rush from, is just finding out who everybody belongs to. And there's so many families, especially with the churches in this area. All the churches match up to like one family. It's like an off branch of like the establishing churches. It's like a grandchild or a cousin or you know, some sort of distant family, but they're all connected. And you get that a lot, especially in small towns, especially in the older small towns. And that's actually especially true where I'm originally from. Everybody's connected somehow, some way. And you're going to pretty much find that out no matter where you go, no matter where you research. You're related to just about everybody you come across. I think they said theoretically you're related to everybody, like by 32nd cousins times removed or something like that. I gotta look it up again, but that's really neat in itself. But let me get back to finding these headstones for you guys. So I came across 2 infant headstones, and the mother is right beside the little babies, and it's always sad. Maybe just as a mother myself, it'd be absolutely devastating to lose one of my children. But the thing about this is, somebody has been out here recently. There's a little necklace or a talisman or some sort of charm. These babies died a year apart. One in 1606 and one in, 1906 and one in 1907. Now, and they only lived maybe a few months each. One about 5 months old and then one about 2 months old. They both didn't even live very long, you know, and that's just really, really sad. And here's their mother over here. That has to be incredibly, incredibly heartbreaking. I can't even imagine losing one child, much less 2 in just infancy. That has to be so hard on your psyche. And here's another infant headstone. Now this cemetery has so many infant headstones. I mean, it's a large cemetery, so we're going to have a large quantity of infant headstones, but this one in particular, there's 2 infant markers, one for a 2-year-old. They're both 2 actually, 1910 and 1912, and then 1918 and 1920. So many small babies were here. It's unreal. But he didn't have vaccines, you didn't have medicine, you didn't have any of these stuff to keep the babies alive, you know. I mean, back then, if your baby contracted the flu, yeah, it's pretty much gone already. I mean, but nowadays you have so many medical advances to help keep children alive. Here's another infant headstone. Now, this cemetery has so many infant headstones. I mean, it's a large cemetery, so you're going to have a large quantity of infant headstones. But this one in particular, there's 2 infant markers. One for a 2-year-old. They're both 2, actually. 1910 and 1912, and then 1918 and 1920. So many small babies were here. It's unreal. But you didn't have vaccines, you didn't have medicine, you didn't have any of these stuff to keep the babies alive, you know. I mean, back then, if your baby contracted the flu, yeah, it's pretty much gone already. I mean, but nowadays you have so many medical advances to help keep children alive. We're coming upon some of the newer headstones and memorials. That one is actually from last year. There's a lot of, this is like the newer section that they added on. I want to say, I think they said in the 1950s they added on this portion because they were just running out of room. So this is the much newer section, and we're gonna just walk along here and just kind of check it out. And then after I'm done with here, I'm gonna go walk back there and come around because I have yet to hit the back section. So I don't think I've seen this many infants buried in a cemetery before. There's one right there, one right here, right there, and then another one right there. There's a lot. I have to look up, see if there's any kind of outbreaks or plagues or epidemics to see what went down in this part of the state, because there's just so many infants here. So there's another infant stone right here, about 2, 3, 4 years old. And up here, there's, it looks like it's siblings. Maybe 9 years old and 3 years old. And that's actually common for, like, if you have multiple children in your household, one catches something contagious and the other one catches it. It's very common to lose multiple children. I mean, it's sad, but it's unfortunately the way things were back then. If you had a household of sick people and didn't have the money or medicine to take care of them, your children died. And there's just all kinds of infants here, and I'm really going to have to look into this because this is kind of a little unsettling to see this many out here. And I haven't even showed you guys all of them. Like, I've skipped a few because of my memory issues on the phone. But, this is just a lot. And there, I don't know if you can read it because of the shadow, but, 1-day-old baby. That, I mean, this is just insane, you guys. I'm not even kidding. It's like every other headstone is a child. Almost. This is starting to sound some sort of like freaky Stephen King thing going on here. I'm gonna really have to look into this. And another one, just over a month old, 1938, May 31st, 1938, June 22nd, 1938. This is just really weird. I've never seen, I've either paid not that much attention to infants in cemeteries, which I usually do, or this is just unusually high amounts of infants who were buried in this cemetery and they had no place to bury them. I don't know, this is just alright guys, I'm back in my car. It got really hot. It's maybe in the high 70s here. But that church was gorgeous. I'm so happy I got to take you guys along and to show you some of our history. I love history, I love genealogy, I love anything that coincides with those two. So, for those of you who are new to my channel, this is what I do. It's kind of like one of my stress relievers. I have 2 special needs kids, And this is my hobby. This is it's what keeps me sane while dealing with all the stress we have in our life. But I'm gonna really have to look into that high infant mortality rate, because it's just unusually high, you know. And I mean, you're going to see infant headstones, especially in a large cemetery, especially when you have the dates ranging from the 1700s to 1900s. You're going to have a huge concentration of infant deaths anyway. But that's just, it was like every other headstone I saw was a child. So I'm going to have to look into epidemics in this area. I think the CDC website might have a list. I have to check it out. But yeah, I will, if I see anything interesting, I'll let you guys know. But I hope you guys found it entertaining and a little informative. And if you have any churches, any old cemeteries by you, please record and, you know, let me see, because this stuff is fascinating to me. I'm gonna go ahead and sign off. I have to go get groceries for the week, and I hope you guys really enjoyed this. I had a lot of fun showing you guys, and as the summer, you know, gets here and progresses, I'm going to be able to do a little bit more, especially if I have the new camera coming, all the new camera stuff coming. Traffic, sorry guys, I'm using my phone like I said, so because my camera finally bit the dust. So hopefully my handycam stuff will be here later this week, hoping, fingers crossed. Anyway, I will see you guys soon, and I hope you guys are having a beautiful day. If it's beautiful where you guys are, get out and explore, go grave hunting. I mean, you never know what you're gonna find. We'll see you guys later. Bye.